The silence that followed was heavy and poignant. Julian and Bubbles immediately stepped to Richard and his side, offering quiet words of comfort. They guided him away from the stage, leading him to a peaceful spot under a large oak tree. Richard sat down, burying his face in his hands. The realization of his missteps washed over him like a tidal wave. He had focused so intensely on the grand gestures and the secret projects that he had completely neglected the fundamental, everyday work of maintaining a healthy, loving relationship. Meanwhile, Mr. Leahy and Randy were sitting quietly in their living room, contemplating their newly acquired fortune. Randy excitedly suggested that they could use the money to enjoy luxurious vacations or purchase a new, beautiful home. But Mr. Leahy raised a gentle hand, his eyes shining with a newfound wisdom. He explained that true peace could never be bought with sudden wealth. He suggested that they should donate a large portion of the money to the local community center, and use the rest to quietly support the neighborhood they had grown to love so dearly. They agreed, their hearts overflowing with a genuine desire to bring light and positivity to the world around them. As the evening shadows deepened, the community began to disperse, returning to the quiet comfort of their homes. Bubbles gathered Richard and Julian around a small, crackling campfire. The flames danced brightly, casting a warm, illuminating glow on their weary faces. Bubbles looked at his two oldest and dearest friends. He took a deep breath, his voice trembling slightly with emotion. He told them that he loved them with all of his heart. He reminded them of the incredible journey they had shared, from their mischievous childhood days to the complex challenges of their adult lives. But then, his tone shifted to one of profound seriousness. He asked them to truly look at themselves, to reflect on the choices they were making and the paths they were walking. He pointed out that they were growing older, and the reckless, impulsive behaviors of their youth were no longer charming or acceptable. Bubbles spoke beautifully about the true meaning of success. He explained that a meaningful life is not built on sudden riches, secret schemes, or grand, theatrical gestures. It is built on the quiet, consistent dedication to honest work, the unwavering support of true friends, and the courage to face reality with a clear and sober mind. He begged them to leave the chaos of the past behind, to embrace the beauty of legitimate, peaceful living, and to cherish the precious time they had left together. Richard listened, tears rolling silently down his cheeks. He realized that Bubbles was absolutely right. He had spent his entire life chasing illusions, running away from responsibility, and hurting the people who loved him the most. He looked at Julian, seeing the same profound realization dawning in his eyes. In that quiet, sacred moment under the starry sky, a deep and lasting transformation took place. The three friends joined hands, their bond stronger and more resilient than ever before. They made a silent, unbreakable vow to support each other on the path to a better, brighter future. They knew the journey would not be easy, and that old habits would be difficult to break. But they also knew that as long as they had each other, and as long as they held on to the values of honesty, love, and unwavering friendship, they could overcome any obstacle the world placed in their way. The night air was no longer a symbol of lost opportunities or shattered dreams. It was a gentle, inspiring whisper of hope, a beautiful promise of a new dawn, and a testament to the enduring, humanistic power of redemption and genuine love. This is a big, big night for me. I finally did something of my own, and it paid off. I mean, that is why things got fucked up in the past, because of fucking Julian and Bubbles. Ricky stood alone under the vast, starlit sky, the cool night breeze rustling through the dense trees that bordered the trailer park. He took a deep breath, filling his lungs with the crisp evening air. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, a profound sense of accomplishment washed over him. He looked down at his hands that had worked the soil, tended to life, and built something entirely from scratch. His internal monologue was a whirlwind of pride and lingering resentment. He reflected on the countless times his grand schemes had crumbled into dust, almost always in his mind, because he had relied too heavily on his best friends. He loved them, surely, but he felt an overwhelming need to prove his own worth. I finally got myself learned. You want something done right, you get it done by your own. Well, you helped a bit too, Ricky. He muttered to himself, a quiet acknowledgement of his own solitary journey of education. He had studied, he had observed, and he had applied himself with a dedication that surprised even his own reflection. A small, self-deprecating chuckle escaped his lips as he realized he was congratulating himself out loud. He was his own partner in this endeavor, his own sole supporter. Yeah, man, we totally had your back, dude. Would you shut the fuck up? Cannot you see I am talking here? Anyway, I got this incredible backdoor deal with one of the dispensaries in Halifax. Cash. Money. I am done. I finally fucking did it. In his mind, he playfully argued with the imaginary voices of his usual accomplices, dismissing their phantom interruptions with a wave of his hand. He focused on the triumph. He had navigated the complex world of commerce and secured a lucrative agreement with a legitimate medical establishment in the sprawling city of Halifax. It was a transaction of pure paper currency. It was the ultimate validation. He envisioned a life free from the constant, grinding pressure of poverty. He believed he had reached the summit of his personal mountain. And Julian and Bubbles are probably going to be a little pissed off if they find out. I was going to do it first, but I am just going to throw a massive party, and that will fix it. Parties fix everything. A shadow of guilt briefly clouded his bright vision. He knew his friends valued loyalty above all else, and his secrecy would undoubtedly cause a rift. However, his optimistic nature quickly paved over the concern. He reasoned that a grand celebration, a monumental gathering of their community filled with joy and laughter, would serve as the perfect apology. In his philosophy, shared happiness had the power to mend any fracture. The scene shifted to the dense, shadowy woods at the edge of the world they knew. The moonlight struggled to pierce the thick canopy of leaves as Ricky, accompanied by his loyal but often misguided companions Corey and Jacob, navigated the uneven terrain. The air was thick with anticipation and the earthy scent of nature. Okay, boys, just up here past this tree line. When we get there, no talking, no fucking around. We are gonna get the plants cut down as fast as we fucking can, and get out of here before that cock-sucking sun comes up. Okay? Hells yeah. Ricky whispered his instructions with the gravity of a general leading a critical mission. His voice was a mixture of authority and nervous energy. He demanded absolute silence and focus. The goal was simple yet urgent. Harvest the fruits of his hidden labor before the breaking dawn could expose their clandestine operation to the unforgiving light of day. Corey and Jacob, eager to please and caught up in the thrill of the midnight expedition, whispered their enthusiastic agreements. Hey, do not worry, we got this, Ricky. Hey, thanks for bringing us to the harvest, man. What the fuck is that? Is that the fucking cops? Cops? It is just a shotgun. Fuck. It is just a shotgun, boys. The companions offered words of reassurance, their youthful bravado masking any underlying anxiety. They expressed genuine gratitude for being included in what they believed was a momentous occasion. However, the serene quiet of the forest was suddenly shattered by a deafening, terrifying roar. Panic erupted instantly. Confusion reigned as their minds raced to identify the source of the sudden threat. The initial fear of law enforcement quickly morphed into the raw, primal terror of a localized, chaotic danger. A loud blast echoed through the trees. Get the fuck up, you pussies. Come on. What the fuck? Get back here. Fuck you. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, my fuck. No. No. Oh, my fucking god. I guess I should not be fucking surprised. Hermit crab. Whore bitches. Why does God and the rest of the world keep fishing me up the fucking ass? Fuck. Fuck. Chaos consumed the small clearing. Shadowy figures emerged from the darkness, their intentions hostile and immediate. The meticulously tended garden was abruptly and violently compromised. Shouts of anger, fear, and desperation filled the air as the intruders laid claim to Ricky's hard work. Ricky, overwhelmed by the sudden and devastating